Good morning. My name is David Wheel, and I have conducted research on militarisation of Australian history, focusing on the South African War Memorial Statue located in Brisbane CBD, and I'm happy to present this information to you in an open educational resource. A link to the PowerPoint slides and references can be found on the last slide of the presentation, where you are welcome to retain, reuse, and redistribute for your own benefit. The South African War, more commonly known as the Boer War, took place between 1899 and 1902 in the South African territories of Cape Colony and Natal. The conflict was fought between the British Empire and two independent Boer republics, the Orange Free State and the South African Republic. It was a significant event in the history of colonial warfare, as it marked the first time that nearly 15,000 Australian soldiers were sent overseas to assist the British in their military efforts. According to the State Library of Victoria, these soldiers were mostly young men aged between 19 and 29. The involvement of the Australian forces in the Boer War laid the foundations for a strong military connection with the British Commonwealth. This connection would later contribute to the development of the Anzac spirit, symbolising the bravery and sacrifice of Australian and New Zealand soldiers during World War I. The Boer War thus represents a key moment in the formation of Australian military identity and its ongoing relationship with Britain. Within the Brisbane CBD stands a commemorative statue dedicated to the memory of the Queensland soldiers who lost their lives during the South African War. On each side of the statue are plaques inscribed with the rank and names of the 89 soldiers who did not return home. This statue is particularly significant as it is the only memorial dedicated to the fallen Queensland Anzac soldiers from the Boer War within Brisbane. Other major Australian cities, such as Adelaide and Canberra, have memorials honouring the soldiers who died in this conflict. The Canberra expedition serves to recognise all Australian soldiers who perished during the Boer War, ensuring that their sacrifice is remembered across the country. These memorials not only serve as a tribute to the individual soldiers, but also stand as symbols of national remembrance for Australians' involvement in the Boer War. The statue was designed in 1905 by sculptor James Lawrence Watts and depicts a life-size model of a soldier on top of a horse wearing the Anzac uniform. The bronze statue has been complimented for its meticulous attention to detail in important aspects such as the uniform and the Queensland symbol that can be found on the horse. The model of the statue was Sergeant Frederick James Hockey, who was part of the 1st Queensland Mounted Infantry to serve in the South African War. The sergeant continued to then serve in World War I, where he unfortunately passed away alongside his fellow Anzac comrades. The statue, which can be seen in the image on the left of your screen, was originally located in front of the Trade Hall building on the intersection of Turbot and Edward Street. However, a dedicated space called Anzac Square was created in 1939, where the statue is now located today, which can be seen in the map below. The statue is now located within Anzac Square and is where all Anzac soldiers are remembered for their sacrifice and is host to one of the largest Anzac Day ceremonies within Brisbane every year. Originally envisioned as a World War I memorial, the Boer War statue became the first memorial piece to be added to the square and now serves to commemorate all Australian conflicts and fallen soldiers. The square also exhibits the Anzac eternal flame and is a symbol for eternal life, or in this case, eternal life of remembrance for the sacrifice of those who died during service. The 1.2 acre land between Ann and Adelaide Street served as the main recruiting depot for enlistment of soldiers during the Boer War and World War I, and with the flame becomes a sacred location to always remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice for Australia. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this open educational resource. If you would like to retain, reuse, or redistribute any part of this presentation, the link to my portfolio and where the PowerPoint is located is on the screen now. Feel free to explore and reach out if you have any further questions or need additional resources. Thank you, and my references for the presentation are here.